We meet again, my friend.
We do. It's a bit of deja vu.
You could have had a shave.
Well, yeah, Beck thinks I'm a little shiny if I have the shaved head and the closely shaved face, so I've gone for a little bit of facial stubble.
Dane Swan was a red-hot favourite. What sort of chance did you give yourself?
Look, I can honestly say none at all. Obviously, Dane's had an amazing year, as has Gazza and Hodgie and others, so, I don't think anyone comes to these things expecting to win, but sometimes you really come expecting not to win, and that was certainly me tonight. So it's a spin out, but it's a huge honour, and it's still pretty excited by it.
You're the 13th man to win the Brownlow at least twice, and one of the rare few to win it at two different clubs.
Yeah, it was a big decision to come home and come to Carlton after 6 years at West Coast. I've really enjoyed the challenge of playing with a new club and really enjoyed playing with a new group of blokes that are a fantastic crew. So, I think all the players that are having a drink tonight are envious of the blokes that are sipping on waters tonight, and hopefully our club's not too far away from being in that same situation.
You polled 30 votes, exactly the same as when you won it last time in 2004. You were 21 years of age that night, and let's be honest, you'd had a couple. What can you remember of that night?
I remember it well. I'd snuck a couple in pre-Brownlow, and look, it was much the same. I didn't expect to win that night, but at least I tallied up how many votes I thought I'd get for the night. And I think I came up with 18, so I was surprised to get to 30, and tonight I probably didn't even bother. So, as I said, a huge spin out for me and probably a lot of people in the room, but we'll take it.
You sure will. We heard what Jimmy Stein said, what it means to be a Brownlow medallist. You've also experienced that great honour. What does it mean to be a Brownlow medallist?
Oh, look, there's no doubt it is a huge honour, and I think footballers and Brownlow medalists get put up on pedestals, if you like. But when you see someone like Jim Steins and what he's doing in the real world, I think, football, if you like, is sort of make-believe. It's like a self-indulgent pastime where you go out each week and you announce to the football public the type of person you and your mates are. It's not real. Whereas you look at something that Jim Steins is doing, and that's really happening in the real world. And people like Jim and plenty of other, ordinary Australians with lower profiles than Jim are the real heroes in our society. And, I was a Melbourne fan growing up, and Jimmy and Gary Lyon were my two favourite players, and it was an inspiration what he did on the football field, but certainly what he's done in his public battle with cancer in the last couple of years is even more of an inspiration.
You touched on it earlier. How tough was it to leave the West Coast Eagles? And tell us about the courting process and why did you choose Carlton?
Oh, look, it was a big decision. I love the West Coast Eagles Footy Club and the teammates I played with. Some of whom are here tonight. In the end, it was really just I wanted to come back to Melbourne to be close to my family and childhood friends, and probably feel like I had a bit more of a life outside of the footy club. So that was just the decision I made. But it was a very tough decision, and as I said, now really excited to be part of the Carlton Footy Club.
Was it always going to be Carlton?
Oh, look at not necessarily. I probably had a bit of a relationship with Greg Swan, which spawned out of a couple of days at the races.
It's been big days.
Yeah. Well, it's just funny how the road your life takes. So I was, I knew him a little bit, and in the end, more than anything, that was probably the thing that got me over the line.
Let's go back just to this season. Round 13, you were playing the Fremantle Dockers, and you threw back an elbow.
Yeah.
And you split open Matthew Pavlich's cheekbone. In retrospect, you think you're a bit lucky not to get suspended by the match review panel?
No, I can honestly say I haven't even seen the footage of it, so I was probably a bit lucky.
Come on, you must have seen it.
I honestly haven't.
You haven't seen it?
I gave Pav. I haven't said hello to Pav. I gave him.
Do you want to say sorry?
Well, it was an accident, so I am sorry. Yeah.
Just going back to the 2001 Super Draft, the top three place getters tonight were all from that Super Draft. What an amazing season that must have been in the TAC Cup before you all played league footy.
Yeah, it was a much talked about draft at the time, and just one of the things. Obviously, Hodgie and Gaz had amazing years and polled really well tonight, as did Swanee. So we must all be at that vote-getting age.
You've told us a few times begrudgingly you're not really happy about being a role model, but you are. How does it sit with you?
I think your opinions on things change as you get older. I think as the younger you are, the more selfish you are, and probably the more you think about number one. And as you get older, you slowly start to realise that there's other people living in the world. I think my comments maybe got misconstrued a little bit. I think my comments were more around, the real role models in the community are the ones going through the struggles like Jim Steins, and these are the people that kids should essentially look up to. But yeah, certainly I think I've become more cognisant of the fact that you can make a bit of a difference as an AFL footballer, and I think the team role model is something that probably sits a little bit more comfortably with me now than it did when I was a kid.
Who's more famous, you or Rebecca Twigley?
No, well, she's certainly a lot more natural on the blue carpet, and she does a great job. So I'm very lucky and she's better looking with better hair. So I'm very lucky to have her, and she's been wonderful support to me, and looking forward to the rest of our lives together.
You're getting married New Year's Eve, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Talk us about the wedding plans. How much say have you had in it?
Well, early on, I threw in my 2 bobs worth and quickly got told that it wasn't really required. So I probably took that as the green light that I didn't have to do too much, and I'm yet to get yelled at for not doing too much. So.
Oh, you will, my friend. You will. Before we let you go, I'm sure there's a few thank yous you'd like to say.
Yes, where do I start? I guess firstly to Carlton Football Club, to the players. It's been 3 years now, and I've loved playing with you. And I think when you do win individual awards, everybody gets up and they thank their teammates. And the reason they thank their teammates is because the individual awards can't get won without the hard work of your teammates. So thanks, boys. I'd like to also thank the coaches, the administration, the sponsors, Hyundai, Mars and Visi and Optus. Got them in. And thanks very much to, obviously, Rebecca. Touched on it before. But thanks for all your assistance during the year. You didn't give me a hope tonight, and I showed you. Also, thanks to my family, my dad Andrew, my mum Lisa, and sister Lauren. They're wonderful people, and obviously bear much of the responsibility for me standing up here today. Look, there's going to be a million other people who I've forgotten. Still a bit rattled by it all, but look, thanks to everyone over the journey, and hopefully you have a drink for me tonight.
Chris Judd, dual Brownlow medallist. Congratulations.
Well done, mate.